If you think your planting season is over because it's July, think again. While many gardeners are busy harvesting tomatoes and their cucumbers, the smartest gardeners are already planning their round of crops so that they can still have fresh harvest into the fall. In fact, this month of July can be one of the most productive months of the year if you know what to plant. Today, I'm going to share with you 12 crops that you can plant in the month of July, along with a few tips to help them thrive during the hot season. Before we get started, if you haven't already, I'd love for you to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new gardening video. If you would like to support the channel and help us create more content like this, you're also welcome to join our membership. And if you're ever curious about the tools, supplies, or products I use, you'll find my Amazon storefront linked in the description. It's simply a collection of items I personally use in my garden. The first crop to start in July is cucumbers. Cucumbers are one of the fastest and most rewarding crops you can plant in mid-summer. Many varieties of cucumbers are ready to harvest within 2 months, making this crop an excellent choice for gardeners who have several weeks of warm weather ahead. A July planting of cucumbers can provide plenty of fresh, crisp cucumbers before autumn arrives. If you have cucumber plants already growing in your garden, don't be afraid to start a new batch because the older plants will sometimes slow down, becomes diseased, or struggle with pests later on in the season. A second planting helps keep the harvest coming. For best results, you want to sow your cucumbers in warm soil about 1/4 inch deep. Make sure to keep the planting area consistently moist until germination. Once established, give your cucumber plants plenty of water and they'll grow quickly and produce a big harvest. The second crop to get started in July are beans. Few vegetables offer quick returns than beans. Most varieties of green beans will mature within 2 months, the ideal crop to get started in July. By sowing beans this month, you can enjoy a fresh, continuous harvest of beans while many of your other crops begin to fade. Beans love to be grown in very warm soil, so you want to plant it where it gets lots of sun. There are 2 types of green beans that you should grow. One is the bush bean, which grows, as the name suggests, in a bush form, and the other one is a pole bean, which are meant to grow up very tall, so it will need a trellis. But regardless which beans you choose to grow, they all will be planted the same way. To sow beans, you want to plant them about 1/4 inch deep and 4 to 6 inches apart in rows. I'm planting the pole beans because we have this caterpillar trellis here, which it will grow up on. So just make a trench. And then I'm going to plant the beans. And then cover it up. The third crop to start in the month of July are summer squashes and zucchinis. These are famous for their productivity in the summer. Even when planted in July, these vigorous crops can produce impressive harvests in a relatively short period of time. Many varieties of summer squash and zucchinis will start producing fruit within 50 to 60 days of being planted. A second planting right now is very useful if your first planting of summer squash and zucchinis was affected by pests or disease. And fresh, younger plants will often outperform the older plants during the summer. For best flavor and texture, you want to harvest your summer squash and zucchinis when they are young and not fully mature. In the month of July, while your summer crops are growing, you also have to think about what to plant right now so that you can have crops grown in the fall. With carrots taking about 70 days, planting it right now will make sure you get an abundant harvest of sweet roots in the fall. The warm soil helps speed up the germination, while the cooler temperatures of the autumn will help sweeten up the roots. Because carrot seeds are very tiny, when planting, it's very critical to keep the soil moist. We cover the seeds with some cardboard to protect them. Many gardeners stop planting lettuce once summer arrives, but heat-tolerant varieties can still perform surprisingly well. And with the use of shade cloths, you can still have fresh lettuce all summer long. Look for slow bolting varieties that are bred to withstand warmer temperatures. These types of lettuce can continue producing quality leaves even during midsummer conditions. Start lettuce seeds in trays or containers where you can provide shade and consistent moisture. Once the seedlings are established, you can transplant them into areas that receive shade at the hottest time of the day. And the reward is fresh salads long after many gardeners have given up on lettuce for the year. The sixth crop to get started this month are Swiss chard. If you're looking for a leafy green that can handle both summer heat and cooler fall temperatures, Swiss chard is the crop to grow. They add a lot of colors to the garden, and it's a very nutritious vegetable that grows quickly and can provide harvest for months. When there's a lot, I like to pack them in Ziploc bags and store them in the freezer to use in the winter for soups and stews. If you also have shaded areas in the garden, Swiss chard is a great choice to plant. To start Swiss chard, you want to plant it over well moist soil. And how I like to plant any leafy green is to make a small area of very fine soil and then plant some Swiss chard in the area. This method is very great if you have limited amount of space because you don't have to start them all into rows using up the soil. I then cover the Swiss chard seeds now, and then once the seeds germinate and they grow to about 4 inches tall, I can dig them up and transplant them around the garden where I have empty space. The seventh crop to get started this month are your brassicas, which include broccoli, kale, cauliflower, and cabbage. These cool season crops require about 60 to 90 days until they are ready to harvest. So planting them right now in the beginning of July will allow you to harvest them early into mid-fall. In this list of the brassicas, kale deserves special attention because it will become very sweet after many light frosts and will continue producing fresh greens long after every crop stops producing. You want to start seeds and seedling cells, protect them from the intense heat of the summer once they grow. When they are about 2 to 3 inches tall, you can transplant them outdoors. Nothing pairs better with summer tomatoes than fresh basil. Fortunately, there's still time to start basil in the beginning of July. This fast-growing herb loves very warm temperatures and can quickly fill garden beds or containers. To keep your basil being productive, if you already have, you can pinch off the flower buds as soon as they appear, and this will encourage the plant to focus its energy on producing more leaves instead of the seeds. With regular harvesting, basil can provide a steady supply of fresh leaves right up until the frost. Parsley is one of the most useful herbs in the garden. Unlike some herbs that struggle as temperatures cool, parsley remains productive well into fall. It can tolerate chilly weather and will continue producing fresh growth when many summer herbs are slowing down. Start by soaking your parsley for 24 hours. Then you can plant the seeds on moist, fertile soil. After, cover the seeds with some soil and be sure to keep them moist until it germinates. The 10th crop to sow in July are beets. Both the roots and the leafy tops are edible, giving gardeners 2 harvests from one single planting. The warm soil will encourage quick germination, while cooler fall temperatures will improve root quality and the sweetness. They are very easy to grow, taking only about 50 to 60 days, making them an ideal choice for filling empty space that you have in the garden. To grow beets, you want to start them in rows. Sow your beets 1 inch apart, and it doesn't matter if you put a little more because the beets, when they grow, will expand and will push the roots to the side. And then cover the seeds up and keep the soil consistently moist until it germinates. Not every crop has to be a vegetable that you start in July, which brings me on to the 11th crop, which is sunflowers. Many sunflower varieties mature in 60 to 75 days, making them perfect for midsummer sowing. These bright blooms will add plenty of color to the garden and attract many beneficial insects to pollinate your fall vegetables. And after your sunflower seeds dry out, you can roast them and enjoy them throughout the winter. Start your sunflower seeds 1/2 inch deep in the soil and make sure to put like a protective layer of mesh over the soil so that no rodents could come and eat it. Once they germinate, you want to also put like an insect netting so no birds or rodents come and eat the seedlings. The last crop to start in July are one of the fastest crops you can plant this month, making them perfect for gardeners looking for quick results. Many varieties of this crop are ready to harvest in as little as 25 days, allowing you to enjoy fresh, homegrown vegetables long before many other crops mature. And that crop is radish. Because radish grows so quickly, they are extremely excellent for filling empty spaces in the garden beds between slower growing crops. They also perform well in succession plantings, meaning you can sow a small amount of seeds every couple of weeks for a continuous harvest. Because radish are very prone to flowering, you want to make sure to keep the soil very moist all throughout the summer as it's growing, and you also want to provide it some shade so that they will not flower. To sow your radish seeds, you want to plant them about 1/4 inch deep, and you want to space them about 1/2 inch to 1 inch apart. How I like to plant my radish is just sprinkle them over the soil, and once they grow, I can harvest the bigger ones, leaving the smaller ones to grow. Then I'm going to cover the soil. So those are my 12 crops I'll be starting this month. A lot of these crops can be started up till the end of July. If you also have a very long growing season left, you can start another set of tomatoes, but make sure to look for varieties that will mature within 60 to 70 days. But if you don't have enough time to start another round of tomatoes, then you want to make use of the tomatoes you have currently to produce as much as they can. And this video here shows you how to get your tomatoes to produce even more fruit.